So, talk to me a little bit about pressure. How do players or athletes or coaches as well deal with pressure? What are some things and some strategies that you found helpful?
Cool. So let's define pressure first, just so we're all on the same page, your listeners and you and I. Pressure is the feeling of tightness, the feeling of I can't do this. It has a mix of self-talk. It has a mix of I'm imagining myself failing. It has a mix of self-doubt. And pressure comes from a wide variety of things. We've all felt pressure.
Hmm.
Pressure comes from tightness and tight situations. It comes from a race against the clock. It comes from a tough score. It comes from, in tennis, break points, tie breaks, closing out a set, starting out a set, being behind, being in the lead. There's a lot of situations that can lead to pressure. Big matches, important matches. A scout is watching me. It's the first time I'm starting as a college player. So as that's all the places that pressure comes from. Now, how do we deal with it? Well, Uros, there's a wide variety of skills that the players use. For me, it boils down to the 4 C's, and the four
Hmm.
C's are confidence, composure, concentration, and control. So control is about clarifying your actions. So it's about saying what's within my sphere of control, what do I not control, and let me distinguish that first. So sometimes
Hmm.
I've worked with tennis players, with juniors who get mad when it gets windy and their toss is off, and now the serve's going long by a little bit, or it's going into the net, and it's something that they can't control. So focusing on that C of the control would be important for them. Confidence. Confidence is all around mental and physical reps. So it's really about dialing into what am I seeing in my mind? How am I speaking to myself? What are the thoughts that are stuck on repeat for me? And the physical part of it, because we can't fake it till we make it. That was
Hmm.
there's a great TED talk on that body language. You do a little bit of power posing and stuff, and you have great results. That study could not be replicated, so it fell in the water. So the physical reps are actually putting in time serving. If I'm going to tell myself I don't, I have a high percentage of first serves, or I don't double fault, or I get every second serve in, I better be hitting the courts with a basket every day like Roundage. So, that's the confidence. Composure is huge for pressure, because what happens in pressure situations is players will get tight, arm gets tight, mind is racing. There's all sorts of thoughts ping ponging around their heads. And so the composure skills are breathing, using box breathing on the changeovers, doing one deep inhale, exhale, and having that great routine between the points, because there's basically 3 levels. We have a blue zone, we have a green zone, and a red zone, and we want to try to be in the green zone, which is for tennis would be like 100 to 125 beats per minute in terms of heart rate.
Hmm.
And so with pressure kicks us out of that. It kicks us into the red zone. So they did research on police officers in deadly encounters where they're faced with a suspect who has a weapon, a knife or a gun or something where their life is in danger. So what they noticed is that's pressure, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
that's like the biggest pressure.
Yes.
So over in that red zone, their heart rate just spikes super high. That gets them into the red zone. And so what happens is their motor control goes down. Like they can't shoot as well. They can't defend themselves as well. Vision becomes narrow. You don't see that peripheral vision anymore. You don't have that
Hmm.
anymore. Sound gets dampened. So you don't hear how your opponent's hitting the ball, how it's coming off their strings anymore, what kind of spin, how much rotations. And so that's important. And so having that breathing to bring ourselves into the green zone. And then finally, we have the concentration. And
Hmm.
concentration, so pressure's a factory. It's this thought and feeling making factory. It makes these thoughts and feelings that actually aren't really true. And what it does with making those feelings is it steals the most valuable resource from the player, from the coach, from the performer, and that's attention.
Hmm.
And so
Hmm.
having ways to manage attention, having a focus plan, which I work on with my clients and athletes, for how to reel it in and dial it in, and what's going to stress you out and distract you during the match, and what are you going to do when that happens. That's important. So with your answer to
That's
pressure,
great.
it's those 4 skills in a nutshell. Yeah.